actually escort you these brand new airports.
Oh my god, I wish you were my ex.
No, I have a case.
What is good, everybody? Doing another competitive sniping talk video. Gotta keep you lot engaged. This time, old versus new. Who wins? Who wins that one? Now, I'm gonna answer the question first and then work backwards. I don't want to be one of them people. Why don't you stick around till the end of the video? Like, nah, bruv, I'm not a dickhead, and neither are you lot. So we'll answer it first, then we'll work backwards. Competitive sniping, old versus new. Who wins that? I think the old snipers win that with a new playstyle. The old snipers who are either still playing or are adaptive, playing in a current or different playstyle. Because I feel like with the knowledge, the experience, and the accolades, if you're able to adapt, I think you will be dominant. However, if you're old sniper and you are still stuck in your ways and you're still using the same style of play, I think you will be dominated. I think it's that simple. I don't really think there's any way about it, to be honest. I feel like the old is always replaced with the new, and I think there's very few instances which this is not the case in. I think like hip hop being one of them. I feel like some rappers are maybe not as big as they used to be, but I feel like some are still peaking, and some are better than they were, to be honest. But then even with that, stylistically, these artists would have modernized their sound or changed it in some way. But I honestly don't think old snipers with old playstyles would win. There might be some anomalies, you know, like the top of the top people that have just been the best through the games, the different games and different series. Yeah, but generally, I don't think so. Like I really, and I feel like a lot of people, you know, because it's not active or as active as it used to be, but I'm saying it's not active. 10 teams or 5 teams is not active, but you have your favorite snipers from way back in the day, and if you think they're gonna hop back on with the same playstyle and the same skill set and beat these new guys, like, you're just being ignorant. Like, it's not the case. I don't think it's the case at all. Now, I'm gonna speak for the EU, right? The UK were dominated the comp scene for the EU. The UK teams were generally the better teams, and our introduction to the EU teams, there were some good ones, but generally it was just UK dominance, like top 5, top 10 throughout. Cool. And you know, the old style, I'd say as awkward as the old style of sniping got, it was laying down, having off timing, obviously blinding accuracy, re-challenging gunfights and pre-firing, and then just general teamwork. Yeah, we got used to it. Like, there was levels, but we got used to it. Like, even against the best team, you could make adjustments and try and do what you could. For me, and this is just my opinion, you know, as good as the teamwork was and how phenomenal these guys' shots were and how they played, I just feel like it got to a point where a lot of the players were just simply too easy to hit. And nowadays, especially going forward from where it was, it's just not the same awkwardness. Like, people are a lot harder to hit now. Boom. Modern Warfare 3 finishes. In comes E-Sniping. Now, the lesser EU teams have leveled up massively. Like, namely 2 or 3. Like, I don't know where the fuck you guys went for a year, what you guys did. But leveled, yeah. And obviously, the style of playing E-Sniping is different. There's some different rules and you're allowed to hard scope, but regardless of that, level up, right? So in the EU, I believe at that point, excluding the UK, I believe the Europeans evolved sniping, and that's my honest point of view. I think they evolved sniping. I feel like the UK for the EU got it to where it was, and then the rest of the EU had leveled it up. Like, honestly, you know, you had the new style of players flying around corners, like, you're having to deal with airborne shots, awkward movement. They were generally quicker, and it was our first introduction to playing against scuff players with scuff controllers. Like, because up until that point, it had just been like regular controller sniping, really, and it was just annoying. They were being annoying around the map, using different spots differently, and it was something we just had to get used to. Now, speaking for my team, TES, we had a slow start adjusting to this, and then once we found our footing, everybody was getting slaps. Everybody in their nans were getting slaps. We were just starting to win loads of tournaments. And it's interesting how you grow and have to adapt, you know, when you're put in those kinds of situations. Because we didn't have scuff controllers then, and we weren't looking to buy any. So We just had to be moldable and change our styles. And like teams that didn't really want to adapt were slaughtered like a bunch of baby lambs, useless. Good teams as well. These are good teams getting taken apart because they didn't want to change or evolve. And you know, you could say I took the easy way out with the way I answered the question, to say old wins with a new playstyle. So I kind of mixed the answers, right? But if I had to choose situationally, simply new versus old, who wins? I still think it's a hard question, but I feel like if comp was active, right, the new players would be winning. Like, there's no doubt with how much the style has changed, and they would have changed it. However, if it came back fresh, I feel like the old snipers would be an advantage for a little while, and then the new would take over. I just feel like that is how it would go, unless the old are willing to change their playstyle and adapt, like I've said, and then they dominate along with a few good new players. I mean, ultimately, not a lot of the old players would last, only a few, really. And that's just how it is, because a lot of people just don't want to change their ways. And that's kind of how I came to answering the question in the first place. But what do you guys think? Am I off? Do you follow me? And old heads, I know your pride will tell you that I'm wrong, but I just don't think I am. You need to remember I was around them times as well. So, you know, I know, or I think I know. And the NA players outside of the EU, did e-sniping change or evolve your sniping? If not, what did? If you've enjoyed this video, leave me a like. That helps me out a lot. In a bit.